Hey guys, welcome to my review here on NR Gaming of Assassin's Creed Mirage. Hence the HUD thing. Do we like the HUD thing? I thought it's quite cool, but maybe not. But yes, I wanted to come here and give you my honest review of playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. I played on the PS4, which is a slightly important detail, so remember that. But I want to say thank you for all the support on the series when I played it. Please do subscribe to the channel if you have not. Obviously, there's all the other games on there, there's all my other reviews. Go check them out. But let's get into it. It does feel a little strange doing this review because it's like the first, apart from Sonic, obviously I did a bit of Sonic, but that was early days. So it feels a bit different, not in a Final Fantasy or a Pokemon game, as most of my games on the channel have been that. But I used to play the Assassin's Creed. I played Assassin's Creed 1 all the way through to Rogue. And then I kind of got a bit burnout with it, should we say. There was just one every single year and not a huge amount changed massively, especially towards the end. A few of the early ones had big changes, but you know, you kind of knew what was happening. So every year it's a bit different. I didn't play any of the RPG ones. I've never played them, the trilogy. I kind of just wasn't bothered at the time. I was playing other things. This was pre-channel. So, you know, I never played it on here. If you guys want to see them, you obviously let me know. When Assassin's Creed Red comes out, if you want to see me play that, then do let me know below. Because I can play it. I just kind of was playing other things at the time. So I just never bought them. Anyway, as with all my reviews, 2 sections, story and gameplay. And I think we're going to start with the story because what the hell? What the hell was going on in that story? I still don't understand. I mean, I'm going to... Spoilers? Clearly spoilers, but it's hard to know exactly what's a spoiler when you don't really know what happened. You know? Obviously, Basim, the main character from... he wasn't the main character in Valhalla, he was just sort of a side character, but he's the main character in this. It's like his backstory, his prequel specifically for him. He starts as a street thief, kind of poor person, sort of, as you sort of expect back then, you know, living and stealing to make a living. And then a theft goes wrong and he has to leave, escape with his life. He gets taken in by the Hidden Ones, the original name for the assassins. And he's taught how to be an assassin and they train him. And then something happens in Baghdad and he has to go back because he's one of the other people with the knowledge of the city properly, even though he's only a trainee. And you go through the game, you kill the Templars or the Order of the Ancients. You kill a few of them as you go and things slowly open up. And it kind of hints that that Basim doesn't know the full story. Now, I was going to bet it'd be like basically the original Assassin's Creed where it turned out your mentor was actually a Templar or in the Ancients, whatever, evil guy, and that you were actually helping them do their scheme. But it's not quite like that. Again, I mean, specifically spoilers really now. It's not quite like that. It turns out that your mentor has been hiding something from you. Everybody seems to know that Basim is more than just a human being. Roshan, who's your mentor, specifically seems to know it, as do the Templars. Not everyone in the Assassins seem to know. They don't all seem to know, but specifically Roshan does, who obviously is your mentor, and that's the whole sort of like flip it over, you know. Ooh, she is kind of a bad person, but is she really? So Basim's Isu. Is it pronounced Isu? I don't know. He's originally called Loki. As you find out in Valhalla, he's a sage with Loki. And then you get to the end, and it's finally revealed that obviously Basim isn't fully human, and he's had a companion with him the whole time. Turns out that companion was in his head, was like an imaginary friend, was his repressed memories. That's correct, isn't it? That was his repressed memories sort of coming to the surface and kind of helping him, but kind of not helping him at the same time. It's not like they were like, go here, go unlock these. You know, that's actually quite a good Russian impression. But yes, you unlock these memories, and it turns out that I think Basim was actually someone kind of evil before. It implies that he was imprisoned. So I don't really know why though or anything. it never really explains it, and I don't know if it explains it in Valhalla. But from the comments I've had on the last video, a lot of people don't really seem to know, and therefore it doesn't explain it completely. I don't feel like it gives you that full detail. There are little bits of document throughout the game, but again, I don't think that's giving you any extra lore. I think they're just sort of little interesting things to look at and to read. Because for me, this was meant to be, a self-contained game. So I know it's a character linked to obviously another game, but it was all meant to be about Basim. And I don't think it's meant to leave you with questions. I don't know. Obviously, they've not said whether there's going to be any DLC, so maybe it could get explained and they skip forward, I don't know, 10 years. And then obviously Valhalla is even later after that, I don't know, 20, 30 years. But it just doesn't. It just leaves so many questions. And I don't like it. I'm not happy about that. This back to basics approach, which is quite cool. Don't mind that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it just, having that story is just so frustrating. Because I want to know these things, and it's not like they've brought out comic books and books to go with it. I don't think that give you the fill-in lore, and obviously then it's a money grab. But I don't even think they've done that. Well, fine. I just don't really care, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, gameplay. So, like I said, it's a back to basics sort of original, smaller Assassin's Creed. So it was meant to be sort of more self-contained, its own little game, not massive sprawling worlds. You occasionally go back to the Assassin's base, but really it's Baghdad and a little town on the outskirts, which is where Basim's from, and then the wilderness, and there's like nothing in the wilderness. It's a desert. So that is the setting of the game, and so it's meant to be more stealth focused, and the stealth really, really annoyed me. Now I don't really want to necessarily, the RPG games are very different, and there are more combat based, but and I know the Assassin's Creed normally is stealth, but there was something fun about sort of charging and fighting everyone, and I'm in a big group of enemies and you just parry them all and kill them all, and but it's really hard in Mirage. It is very difficult. I mean, I found it very difficult. It could be quite easy. I don't think I was on an easy mode. I think I was on the normal mode. But yeah, it just didn't feel right. It was like it was punishing you for not doing stealth. That was the thing. It was, I always have tried to do the stealth, but sometimes you bugger up. You don't see a guard and they see you, because the guards are a lot cleverer in this than they are in the sort of originals, I think, anyway. So, but it seems to like punish you, and then if you stand and fight, you get killed. You just get killed. There's one mission that you have to fight 4 guards for. You can't stealth them. You have to fight them, and it took me forever. That was, I mean, I could sort of skip back, and obviously I was at a checkpoint to get to it a bit quicker rather than starting the mission all the way from the start. But it was the hardest mission in the game for me. I just kept dying. I kept showing I couldn't find a clever way of doing it. I could, like knife them I had to basically fight them. And I just didn't enjoy that, making it so difficult. Like I say, it just feels like they penalised you for doing it, to stop you being able to do any kind of fighting properly and make you do stealth. Because then the problem was, if you got caught, you'd have to run away, hide for ages, and if they rang the bell and things, you could have not hundreds, it's like exaggeration, but you could have 10, 20 guards trying to find you, and so you'd have to go quite a distance away, so they can find you. And if you run out the area, the local guards might see you because they might and hunt for you, and then you'd have to go back. And obviously, if you killed one, it didn't come back to life, so you could slowly work your way through it. But some of my videos, I felt they dragged a little, because I was just doing it, and yes, I could have cut them out, but then it kind of looks like I've just cheated, doesn't it? It kind of looks like I've just gone, oh, I'll kill him. Oh, there's 4 other guards, so I'll cut this bit out and then come back later. Speaking of cutting out, my next biggest gripe was the loading times. Oh my god, guys. I mean, as I said, I'm playing on the PS4, so I don't know if the PS5 is better. Do let me know below if it was like a problem with the PS4 version, or I don't know about the Xbox One, how that is. Please do let me know. But it just felt like, oh my god, some of them would take 2 minutes to load, and that included the fast travel. It wasn't just the loading of the game at the start, it was the fast travel of trying to get somewhere. Sometimes you feel like, what's the point of fast travel? Let's run. At least you find things and you go in. But that's why I had to cut that quite a few times. I'd have to just, say, oh, I'm going to fast travel. So I'll cut the video and then reload it again when I got there, which was easy enough. It was not a problem. But then I was just sat waiting, you're like, oh my God. I was just talking to myself. I know I wasn't recording, but I just carried on talking to myself. Yeah, just that found really frustrating. But meh. Like it's a gripe of how frustrating I found the game, and it kind of affected the immersion. But it's not a big deal. I just would be interested to know if any of the other consoles had that problem, or if I don't know, maybe I need to upgrade it, software update or something. But anyway, that's that. And then I think the final little gripe I might have had personally was the parkour in the game. For me, it didn't feel as good as like the older games, like obviously up to Rogue that I played. I don't know, it didn't feel as smooth. It felt kind of clunky. I know you just held X, and I think in Assassin's Creed 2 you just held R1 or something. You kind of just generally hold a button, but sometimes you could press and you'd do other things. But I don't know, it just felt clunky and not smooth. It looked fairly smooth and some of the animations were really good, but I just I didn't really enjoy that. It's just kind of just ran in a straight line, and it'd be actually, oh no, he's on top of a building, or he's not, sort of thing. Not ideal. So I think that was the three things for me. The small one was the free running parkour, which didn't quite feel right. The loading times, which was more about breaking the immersion, but the main one was just the stealth. I mean, I could just be crap. I don't know. I could just be really crap at playing it. But yeah, it felt a little too extreme for me. I would have liked an option of being able to maybe have more combat. Or now the problem is, I'm going to say it gets a bit like the RPG. You could maybe train yourself to do a bit more combat, but then that's basically what you did on the RPG. So I don't know. I just feel like the balance was off. Maybe you could do something. Maybe you could just have a piece of equipment that would allow you to do less stealth, but maybe more attack, kind of thing. But anyway, all in all, I'm meh about the game. I really am just like meh. I'm not disappointed in the game per se. I don't think the game was disappointing, apart from the gripes. It's not like the game was crap. The story just confusing and everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disappointed necessarily in the game, but I'm disappointed that I didn't enjoy the game. I think that's the thing. I wanted to enjoy it because I really enjoyed the original Assassin's Creed sort of few games. So I really wanted to, and obviously there's quite a lot of hype about this, and it just didn't get it. I can see why. I don't think the reviews are that good. If you look at them, they're in the 80%. You don't want that for like a AAA game. That's not good. The story sort of Basim just didn't connect with me, kind of thing. Obviously, who's meant to be like the new Ezio rather than Altair. Because Altair, obviously, the first game didn't have a huge amount of story and background with him. Basim was meant to be. He just wasn't. He was a bit moody, wasn't very fun, not a kind of character I don't think a lot of people are really connected to. And then obviously not even finishing his story properly really doesn't help it. It's not like people now are going to be like, what the hell? Especially if you've not played Valhalla. I read a little bit about it, the lore, on the wiki pages, so... I think in Valhalla he's meant to be quite good, and that's why people were really excited about him. I don't know. Tell me below if Basim's really good in Valhalla, but in this he's just not. And the cast of characters, a couple of them are cool, but not many. And it's not, and like the big evil, the final Templar. You only find out at the end kind of who they are, and it sort of links back to the start, but not really. And it's not like it's, oh my God, I really need to kill this person. She was just in the way, sort of thing. It's definitely not as good as the Ezio trilogy. If you want stealth Assassin's Creed, I would say go play that. That's the one to play, because you actually do get to do it. And obviously it's moved on a bit since the original one. So you get the option, but then you also can fight when you want, but it's not designed for you to do. If you want to do a bit more fighting, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I mean, let's be honest, it's like the best one of them all. Everybody should play that game. That is awesome. So go play that one, because that is like, I think that's the pinnacle, and that's what they wanted. But it's not going to happen like that. Obviously I can't give you a view exactly on the RPGs because I've not played them. But if you do want me, like I said, if you do want me to play AC Red or any of the others, then just let me know below. Do subscribe to the channel, check out the other reviews, check out the videos. We play Super Mario RPG, so I do play RPGs. I love Final Fantasy and Pokemon. I think I've probably got more RPGs on my channel anyway. But thanks for watching my ramblings, guys. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you soon for my next review. Oh, bugger. The HUD missed. Cheers, guys.